Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. WOBM AM 1160 at 1310 News Talk Radio. Streaming live at WOBMAM.com and on the Radio Pup app, 732-505-1160 if you want to join the conversation. 708, 26 degrees, heading up to 39 today, March 3rd. There you go. You got everything you need. The only thing you don't have yet is our next guest, and that is Patty Caneda from Canedas and Empanada Experience here in Toms River. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in bright and early. I know you love being up super early and being able to come on in and talk to us.
I love it.
So talk to us about Canedas, which, by the way, in my never-ending ability to mispronounce every business and name in Ocean and Monmouth County, I've been calling Canedas. It's Canedas.
I'm so used to that.
Are you? You don't even correct anymore, though. Okay, you can't give up the fight, Patty. Don't give up the fight. All right, so tell us about Canedas. Tell us why we should go eat there.
Well, we are a very new little business in town on Fisher Boulevard. We are a gourmet empanada cafe. A little bit of Cuba, a little bit of America. And what we've done is we've fused my upbringing of traditional Cuban dishes. We've put them in a pastry. And we've added to that some American favorites and put them in a pastry. So now what you have is this fusion of both worlds coming together, and we offer it with traditional Cuban sides, rice and beans, yuca fries with garlic sauce, sweet plantains. I tell everybody when they've never been there to kind of think of a Starbucks with food. It's not a very big place, but we've got seating, we've got bar seating, and we've got great coffee. So what we've done is we've kind of put something in town that's a little bit different than what we've seen before. And it's been great. It's been a really great 19 months. 19 months.
So what inspired you to open a Cuban restaurant here in Toms River? I mean, it seems like a natural progression. We're obviously a very diverse community here in Toms River. So what overcame you and said, I have to open up a restaurant?
Well, I think that was it, is that I didn't feel the diversity, and I thought we needed some of that. So I thought, why not integrate a business that is going to appeal to everybody for that reason? I familiarize people with the Cuban flavor while comforting them with what they're accustomed to. And I think that concept was something that hasn't even been done before, especially in this area. So it's exploded. People love going in there and trying something they've never eaten before and having a favorite. And I think that concept is what's going to help us to keep growing and getting into the other directions that we want to expand into.
So your background, it's all in culinary. I mean, I'm sure you worked with Bobby Flay, Guy Fieri.
He's my best friend.
Really?
How did you know that? No. No, in fact, I have zero culinary background. I was always the person whose house people were eating at. I was always the person who was cooking. I was always the person that people wanted to come to for dinner or holidays. So it was a natural progression for me to figure out how to build a business, which was where my experience was, while doing something that I loved, which was being in the kitchen. So I created some recipes, and I thought, I can do this. I can take my grandmother's recipes, and I can build a business around it. And so that's what's happened. I think it's all the business savvy that helped me to launch this.
So you never thought that people were at your house because of your sparkling personality, and maybe you should go
My
into
good teeth. I got good teeth.
You should go into a career of stand-up or something like that. You said, well, it must be the food.
Had to be the food.
Okay, got it. So your business background, what was your business background in prior to opening Canedas?
Well, many years ago, I was an asset trader for Prudential Securities, and then I moved into the med mal field. So I was a medical malpractice broker, and I was selling coverage to all kinds of specialty doctors. So that was kind of my world for almost 20 years.
So you went from really a sales gig into a sales gig.
A sales gig,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, because now you're selling, your own stuff, your own food, your own your own recipes.
But I have to tell you, selling food is a lot easier than selling insurance. And people love to eat, and that's the best part about this. And I never realized it even getting into it. It's not hard to sell food. People love to try food and eat food, and they come.
So it's funny. My sales experience is all in electronics and then health clubs, and I always tell people it's easy selling someone a huge television, right? Like they all want it. It's not like I'm trying to sell a prosthetic limb, and it's like here's a better prosthetic limb for you, right? And you're trying to sell something that's fun. You know, selling health is the same thing. It's like, hey, you should be healthier. Like that's not a hard sell holistically. It's a hard sell when people actually have to go to a gym. But okay, cool. So an interesting point though, because I'm pretty sure that you told me at some point that you're a vegetarian, right?
Oh man, here we go. All right, where's my buddy?
Okay,
yes,
so
I am here with you.
All right, so tell me, and this is I asked you about this once before, and I thought your answer was super interesting. So how do you know? Like my image of people cooking, right, is maybe my grandmother cooking, and when my grandmother cooked, I swear to God, it was like there would be a pot of food, and by the time it got to the table, there was half a pot of food because she had tasted so much of it, and she'd been giving out to everyone to taste it. Is this right? Do I need more of this, less of this, whatever? So how do you know if what you're doing is going down the right road?
It's all smell and sight for me. If it's a meat dish, I just can't bring myself to trying it. You have to understand, though, I grew up eating chicken heart soup. I was the kid that had real silverware at lunchtime.
Right.
I was the kid that had, very traditional. I didn't start eating American food till I was about 14. And on the daily, I mean, my family still kills their food in Miami. So you're talking about a hardcore carnivorous life. And then close to 1920, something happened, and I just went to the other side. And now I call myself a pseudo-vegetarian. I don't even like to call myself anything because, to be honest, if you put an amazing piece of chicken in front of me, I will take a taste if I really want to.
Okay.
I will eat fish, but as far as our main meat dishes, I've never tried them. I've cooked them all, but I've never tried them.
But I guess your Jedi senses have been working.
My Jedi Cuban senses,
right? Because people like them. And you were saying before, so the Cuban thing's an interesting point because you are first generation Cuban American here, right?
Yes.
And born in the Cuban hotbed of where?
Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Fort Knox, Kentucky. Kentucky has a very large Cuban American population. Is that true?
No idea. It's so true. No, it's not true.
No, there's no one, right? No one. Just ended up because somebody really liked bluegrass or something.
So no, my dad was in the Army, and my mom just went over to visit him, and actually a little boy karate kicked her in the belly. And here I come.
And you popped out?
Yeah, I did.
Wait a second.
And I was almost stolen from the hospital.
Patty, that's not how it works. Patty, I don't know.
This is what I was told.
No, I'm pretty sure that there wasn't a karate kick in the belly and then Patty popped out. I'm pretty sure.
Traumatized me.
I'm pretty sure that's not how it works, but that's a different show, and we'll have to talk about that another time. Okay, so how are you feeling about Cuban-American relations? You feeling good about the fact that we seem to be opening up? Are you looking forward to Cuban cigars? Flowing freely. What's your feeling?
I think I'm excited for people to get to know the Cuba that I've heard about all my life. I think you've got 55 years of something in place that is not going to completely change in 12 months, but some of the things that are happening are great. I heard recently that a New York-based cancer research center is now going to be bringing the lung cancer vaccine to the States, which I think is wonderful. Up until very recently, you were not allowed to travel to Cuba without cash. Now you can use a debit card. MasterCard is hosting that option now. And, those new changes are great. People are able to travel back and forth. And Cubans are also able to come and seek out business opportunities to bring back to the island. So other than that, a lot of the things that are still in place, are still there. The embargo, obviously, and the freedoms of the Cuban people alone, with the communism still being very much the only party option. I mean, those are the things that I'm waiting to see so that I can go and visit my family.
So you wouldn't go back right now?
I would not go back right now, no.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Is that because you'd be fearful of, what's...
Well, my grandfather owned casino tables in Havana And up until the revolution, my family had a very prosperous life. And when he revolted against the revolution, those tables were taken away, and they wanted to kill him. It was a get out of town situation. And I've always grown up hearing that we're a legacy family there, and that perhaps.
So it's not a good look for you to be
there.
there.
It's not a good look for me right now.
So you'd rather. So that's why everybody's found solace in Kentucky. All right. So when we get back, we will talk more with Patty Caneda, Caneda's empanada experience over in Toms River. We'll back right after this.
Get more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin at our website, WOBMAM.com. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Get up, get out, do something. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin continues. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160, 1310, and WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, back with Patty Caneda. Caneda's in Toms River, an empanada experience. So, Patty, we are about to, I say we like I have something to do with it. You are about to kind of expand your menu, expand your seating area. I don't know. You explain what's going on this spring and summer at Caneda's.
Well, we want to see our best spring and summer yet. It will be our third season. So what we've answered to is a lot of everybody's interest in sticking around, spending more time there. Apparently they like hanging out at our shop. So we are going to increase the hours over the summer. Typically we were keeping boutique hours and closing at 6 p.m. on the weekends. So in the summer we will be open till 10 p.m. And what we're going to do is expand our backyard. We're going to take advantage of the cool trees back there and all of the space available to us. We're going to set up a smoothie bar with all kinds of tropical drinks available to people. We're going to actually try to get a sugarcane shake option, which is called a guarapo in Spanish. It's a machine where we insert the sugarcane, mill it through, and it makes this delicious traditional Cuban shake. We're going to have that option, but then we're going to put about 10 tables back there so that we can service our customers from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We'll be opening at 7 a.m. for breakfast, and we're going to offer an artisan option menu, something you don't typically see in your everyday diner. And we're going to stay open until 10 o'clock, and we're going to host open mic nights and get some local artists in there to start playing some music. We're going to get some good DJ stuff happening, and hopefully it'll be where people want to hang out after the beach.
So it sounds like kind of a party over there on Fisher Boulevard.
Yeah, a little bit.
Jeez. So
we're going to wake it up.
So a sugar. So what did you call that again?
It's called a guarapo.
Right.
And it's a traditional Cuban shake. I grew up on this. Like they'd put this in my baby bottle. You would take the sugar cane and you would mill it through the machine. Yeah, if I wasn't having coffee in the morning. So we'd mill the sugar cane in the machine, and out comes this pure sugar. It's amazing.
So just to review. Your mom got karate kicked in the belly.
Yes.
You popped out.
Yep.
And then there was guarapo in your bottle. It sounds like an interesting child.
Honestly,
the first couple of years were I really molded you, I could see.
We seriously grew up with café con leche, Cuban coffee, and milk in the baby bottle. Everybody got their ears pierced as soon as they were born. And yeah, we drank the sugar cane.
So this is one of the fun things that we get to do is I love having Zach here because every day I like to quiz him on something and see how he performs.
Oh, no.
So here we go. Ready? Can you try? I would like you to try to spell guarapo. Go ahead, give it a shot.
Put me on the spot.
Go ahead, give it a shot.
Oh, man.
Remember, Spanish is phonetic.
Does it start with a J? No, I have no idea.
All right, so can you spell it? Is it possible you could spell that in English? Is it even possible to spell it? All right, we don't know, so we're gonna move along. So, all right, so listen, we're coming up against a break. When we come back, you had a little bit of an exciting time with the empanada guy. If anybody recalls, we was trying to put up a food truck here in Toms River. He may have called Patty out in a little bit of a challenge, right? She may have fired back a few times. We're going to talk a little about that because listen, we're all about a little bit of a little bit of friction, a little bit of challenge. That makes for good radio, and it's a great tease as we head on out. Patty Caneda, Caneda's in Toms River, an empanada experience. We'll be back with her after the break. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Hang tight. Thanks.
The news is next. Live from the WOBM Newsroom, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. It is now 7:35. It is 26 degrees, heading up to 39, March 3rd. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 News Talk Radio. Streaming live at WOBMAM.com and on the News Radio Pup app. The Radio Pup app. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. We are here with Patty Caneda. Canedas, an empanada experience. So, Patty, when the red light comes on, you see how that works? It's not too disconcerting, right? It doesn't throw you off at all. So talk to us. There was a whole rigmarole. I think that was like a year ago or so, right? About this, maybe a little more.
It was last February.
Okay, last February. About this empanada guy who wanted to bring his food truck here and park it, and he said something about maybe he would come to Fisher Boulevard and dominate Fisher Boulevard, and he was calling you out, right? So what's that all about?
Well, actually, Carlos and I are from the same town in North Jersey, and a couple years apart in age, but a lot of similar.
He's obviously
friends.
older, right?
He is older.
Okay, clearly. Okay,
Thank you. But I didn't even know that his business existed. And when I started to conceptualize Canedas, one of the first things that I did was organize a tasting event with just friends and family to give anonymous ballots and submissions to some of the stuff I had out to see what the feedback would be. Long story short, one of the guests that came that evening happened to be a relative of his business partner, who kind of brought to light that evening that this business was very strong and successful, and Carlos started it a few years back. And I was excited to hear that because obviously you can't go to a sandwich maker to get some important knowledge about how to do some of the logistical things you need to do to keep the integrity of the product and so forth. So I tried to arrange a meeting to meet with Carlos and ask him some questions and befriend him. And unfortunately, his response was that I needed to pay a consultation fee to meet with him. So I decided to keep going in my own direction and realizing that, he is a successful food truck operator with now a brick and mortar in Freehold. He's got a Puerto Rican background. I have a Cuban background, and I had a different concept for the business. So I really thought we could stay amicable and eventually meet and be friends. But I guess that didn't happen. And when this whole situation came down in Toms River, at that point when I did feel like it was more inclined to speak to whatever issue he had with my business, I thought, let's just make this fun. Call your friends at the Food Network. Let's get a little food tasting out there and see what people like. Some people are going to love his food. Some people are going to love mine. And I think that's the great thing about America, right? So at the end of the day, I wish him all the best. But, it was interesting. And I will say this. We got a lot of business and a lot of recognition because of this situation. And when people would ask me if I was upset about it, or I said, how could you be upset with someone who makes your, way smaller from all the stress that whole week and makes your pockets bigger? You can't be mad at that guy.
Right.
So I'm
right.
good.
So it goes under the, I guess, what do they say, that any publicity, there's no such thing as bad publicity,
right. Yeah. Sure.
which we can certainly challenge. But in this case, it wasn't bad publicity.
Not at all.
And so just to review, though, you do feel pretty good that you would kick his butt in a taste test,
I do.
right?
I actually feel really good about that.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure of that. So, and I know that you're also looking at, your hope is that, look, we don't typically just we don't bring folks on the show who are looking just at who have kind of a small view of the world. right? We're looking for folks that kind of have an idea of how they want to build something even bigger and more important. And I know you have some ideas, and you're hoping to expand beyond just the Jersey Shore universe, right?
Absolutely. I want to be a household name in Wyoming. So what that means is distribution, national recognition through, getting the product wholesaled. And what we're doing is getting the product available to hospitals. We want to get into school systems. We want to be on your menu at your restaurant. People love our dessert empanadas. They love our savory empanadas. People get excited when they hear the word empanada, just like people get excited when they hear the word cupcake. So I think we need to get on that train now while the button is hot and make ourselves available to every market that's interested in working with us. Because I think if we platform this in the right way, we can continue to grow and keep the integrity of the product, which is nothing is microwaved. Nothing comes out of a can. Everything is a whole food. And I think that's the difference that people are tasting when they come to Canedas. They can actually taste the freshness of the product.
Right.
And that's what we would not change with that expansion.
Down to the fact that your name is like on every empanada, right?
Yes, my name is in the empanada press molds, so that for wholesaling purposes, if you're someplace in Wyoming and you happen to eat one, you'll see my name and mispronounce it.
You got to think about Wyoming. Is
that really out there to me?
When you're growing up in Kentucky, or when you're
Jersey girl.
When you're born in Kentucky, is it like, God, I wish I could get to Wyoming?
I don't even want to tell you about how
like,
I was stolen at the hospital for like 10 minutes, but that's another day.
No, that's we just don't have enough time for that, Patty. Patty Caneda, Patty, where could people go learn more? You want to give us one last plug, where you're located, where they can read about you online, et cetera, et cetera.
We are at 793 Fisher Boulevard. Our website is www.canedas, and our phone number is easy. It's 929 Cuba.
And Canedas is spelled like Canada, except it's an E.
Yes,
so it's
one letter different.
Caneda.
Yep.
So you could see how I would have said Canada, because I'm used to saying Canada. And so it would be in someone's best interest to correct me when I misspeak, but that doesn't always happen. And so you continue to say the wrong thing as you move along through life. And then when you have that person on the radio, you feel like a total idiot. Anyway, I'm not saying that that's how it happened in this particular case, but I'm saying that's how it could happen theoretically. Patty, thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you nothing but the best of success. And I know I am looking forward to having an empanada either for lunch today or you'll bring me one, I'm sure, tomorrow for breakfast, and she didn't bring one today. Anyway, Caneda's an empanada experience, Fisher Boulevard. Tom, so we'll be right back after this.